Hello. In this class, I would like to talk about the energy versus the propagation vector k plot, okay, or the graph of energy versus k. From the chronic penny model, we know that all energy range regions are not allowed. Some energy regions are forbidden. Okay. So accordingly, we can plot the energy versus k diagram. So it looks like this. In this axis, I'll put K into A. Here in this axis, energy of the electron. Right. Okay. So the graph looks like this. Similarly, when K is equal to pi by A, that means Ka equal to pi, there is a discontinuity in the graph. Okay. So this is the energy this is the energy versus wave vector diagram for the periodic potential for the electron in a periodic potential. If the energy is continuous, that means for a free particle the plot will be like this. Okay, so it will be a parabola for a free particle. Okay. So this is for continuous energy. Next is the velocity of electron. The velocity of electron. We know the velocity of electron V is equal to the group velocity d omega by dk. So for electron waves of energy E and angular frequency omega, then omega is equal to E divided by h cross. Okay. So substituting this in the equation of velocity, d by dk of E by h cross. E by h cross. So this is equal to 1 by h cross dE by dk. Okay. So if we differentiate the energy with respect to the wave vector, we get velocity. So velocity is equal to dE by dk divided by h cross. So from this energy Ek diagram, we will get velocity. So it is nothing but it is proportional to the slope of this curve. So let me draw this energy versus diagram in the first Brillouin zone. So this is the first Brillouin zone. Okay, this is corresponding to the first Brillouin zone. So this corresponds to this two region corresponds to second Brillouin zone. Okay, so let me draw it in the first Brillouin zone. So that means first band, the energy versus K diagram. This is the energy versus K diagram. In this axis energy, in this axis the wave vector K. Okay, so this is the boundary of the first Brillouin zone, K equal to pi by A, and this side minus pi by A. So if this is the Ek diagram, then we can find out the velocity versus K diagram also here. So okay, so it is proportional to dE by dk. So here the slope is 0. slope gradually increases, and here the maximum slope, and again slope decreases and it becomes 0. So this will be like this. So we have maximum slope here. Uh, so this is k equal to pi by a. In this axis k, here again in the negative k axis velocity is here, slope is negative, and here large negative value and becomes 0 again here. This is the kind of graph we are getting. Okay, here minus pi by a, here plus pi by a. K is equal to, so this is the velocity versus k diagram. So this is v k diagram, this is e k diagram in the first below answer. Next is we can see, so this is the velocity. So this is very important equation for the velocity of electron in a periodic potential. Okay. If we know the energy as a function of wave vector, then we can find out the velocity of the corresponding particle using this equation. Next is effective mass. Effective mass of the electron or particle. We know that the force on a particle is given by F is equal to the rate of change of momentum, okay, or rate of change of quantum mechanically the momentum is equal to h cross k, okay, and also the acceleration of the particle is given by a equal to d by dt of velocity. Okay, so from the above equation you can substitute velocity, expression for velocity, d by dt of v is equal to 1 by h cross dE divided by dk. Okay, rate of change of energy with respect to the wave vector, or we can write this thing as 1 by h cross, so this is equal to d square E by dk square into dk divided by dt. Okay, this is equal to 1 by h cross d square E by dk square into, so d by dt of k is that, I can write this as 1 by h cross into d by dt of h cross k, which is equal to 1 by h cross square E square E by dt square into d by dt of h cross k is force. Okay, so we can take this thing to the denominator. Therefore, acceleration of the particle A is equal to F divided by h cross square divided by d square E by dk square. Okay, and so force divided by something, so this something will be a mass, so this mass is called the effective mass of the electron in this potential. Okay, so F divided by m effective, okay, where effective mass, the effective mass m star is equal to h cross square divided by d square E by dk square. For the effective mass, m star is inversely proportional to the slope of the velocity curve. Is it? We can plot this here, effective mass. This is called k0, okay, minus k0, where the velocity become maximum, and in this axis, so this will be, this is m star versus k diagram, effective mass versus K diagram. Effective mass is inversely proportional to the slope of VK diagram. So the slope here it is 0, here maximum slope, okay. So maximum slope means reciprocal will be the reciprocal will be minimum, and when velocity become maximum, that is the slope becomes 0. When slope becomes 0, reciprocal will be infinity. So this is the kind of graph we are getting. Okay, so here infinity, and here also k0 minus k0, the yeah. And here the slope is negative, so the effective mass will become negative, and this is the kind of graph we are getting in this side, okay. This is the kind of graph we are getting in this side. So this is the graph for effective mass against K. Okay. Here effective mass we can write once more here. Effective mass m star is equal to h cross square divided by d square E by dk square. Okay. It is inversely proportional to second derivative of energy versus K diagram, or first derivative of inversely proportional to first derivative of the velocity K diagram. Okay. So you have to plot all these three graphs together, then only you will get the relation between these three graphs. Okay. Now let us see the number of orbitals in a band. We know that the energy of electrons in a periodic potential is seen as energy bands separated by band gaps. Okay. So how many number of orbitals are there in each band? So that is we are going to discuss now. Consider a linear crystal of even number n of primitive cells with lattice parameter A. Okay, linear crystal. Let us consider a linear crystal. There are n number of primitive cells. Primitive cell means lattice points, single lattice points. So each lattice point, there are n number of lattice points, and the separation between two lattice points is A. And this is a linear crystal. This is S equal to 0, this is S equal to N. And if L is the crystal length, then the allowed value of K are given by K is equal to 0 plus or minus 2 pi by L plus or minus 4 pi by L plus or minus 6 pi by L, etc. Final value will be n pi by L. Minus n pi by L is not counted here because it is anyway connected with this n pi by L by a reciprocal lattice vector. So there are n number of allowed levels. Allowed levels or allowed K values. Okay. Which is exactly equal to the number of lattice points or number of primitive cells. Okay, so each lattice point corresponding to each primitive cell contributes one independent value of K to each energy band. So this is one in particular band, that is in the first Brillouin zone, minus pi by A to plus pi by A. Okay, so there are n levels, n K values. Okay, so in each band there are n number of allowed levels. Now, if we consider the two independent spins of the electrons, that means up spin and down spin, there can be two electrons in each K level. Okay, so that means there are 2n number of allowed number of orbitals in each band. Okay. So n number of allowed k values. Of each k value, there can be 2 electrons. So there are 2n number of orbitals in each band. Now let's consider if the primitive cell contain single atom with one valence electron. Okay. So each primitive cell contain one atom with one valence electron. So there are n number of valence electron in the crystal. But we know that there are 2n number of orbitals in each band. N electrons and 2n number of orbitals. So the orbitals can be, or each band can be half filled. It can be half filled with electrons. Each lattice point contain, each lattice point or each primitive cell contain single atom, that is monoatomic basis, single atom with one valence electron. Okay. Then there are, we know that there are 2n orbitals, there are n valence electrons. Valence electrons. Okay. And 2n orbitals. So the band can be half filled. The band can be half filled with electrons. Electrons. Okay. Next case is each lattice point contain, or the primitive lattice cell contain single atom with two valence electrons. In that case, there are 2n valence electrons and 2n orbitals. Okay. So the band can be completely filled with electrons. Okay. Another possibility is if primitive cell contains two atoms with one valence electron, then also the band can be completely filled. The band can be completely filled with electrons. Now let us differentiate between the metals and insulators. What is the difference between metals and insulators? If the valence electrons exactly fill one or more bands, leaving other bands empty, then the crystals are said to be insulators. Okay. In an insulator, if an electric field is applied, the electron cannot move in an electric field. Okay. So there will not be any current. So such crystals are called insulators. Okay. So because the band in which electrons are occupied is completely filled. So no electrons are having freedom to move in an electric field. Okay. So if there are even number of valence electrons in a primitive cell, then only the crystal can be insulators. Okay. So then only it can be completely filled. So if a band is completely filled, other bands are empty, or if two bands are completely filled and the remaining bands are empty, then the crystals are said to be insulators. So this happens only if there are even number of valence electrons in each primitive cell. If the primitive cells contain even number of valence electrons, but it may not be insulators, it may be metals. They may be metals if their bands are overlapping. For example, here the bands are supposed to be filled with electrons. Okay, and if the bands are overlapping, some of this will go to in the higher band. Okay, so here the bands are overlapping, so some of these electrons will go to this band, the upper band, because electron will occupy the lowest energy level. So here this lowest energy of this is uh, lower than the highest energy level of this. Okay, so there may be some electrons occupied in the higher band. So because of this there will be freedom for electron to move in a band. So this become metals, even though there are even number of valence electrons. So such crystals are called, these are metals. Okay. Now in insulators, some the orbitals are, sorry, the bands are completely filled or completely empty. Okay. So therefore, in an electric field, electrons will not have any freedom to move. So they are called. Okay, so there is no electron in the second band. First band is completely filled. So these are termed as insulators. Now there are crystals with partly filled orbitals. The first band is completely filled. The first band is completely filled. The second band is partly filled. So the electrons have enough freedom to move in an electric field. So these are termed as metals. These are also metals. Okay. So the alkali metals and noble metals have one valence electrons per primitive cell. So they have to be metals. Definitely they have to be metals. Okay. So the alkaline earth metals have two valence electrons per primitive cell. There are two valence electrons in alkaline earth metals. So they could be insulators, but they are metals. But the bands overlap in energy to give metals. Okay. So this is the case of alkali metals. Alkali metals, that is sodium, potassium, etc. So this is alkaline earth metal, magnesium, calcium, etc. So in this case, there are two n electrons, but their bands are overlapping, so that's why they are metals. So some electrons will be going to the higher energy. So there will be partly occupied bands, so they are metals. Whereas in this case, alkali metals, there are odd number of electrons in the valence electrons in the primitive cell. They should be metals.